So back to the men's shot put, F33. Abdulaziz ALSHEKAILI, his second attempt. He's asking for some chalk there. It's very humid, very sweaty out there. There we go. That just helps with a bit of grip with the shot put there staying. So he's happy to go now. And out it goes there. His opening attempt was 5:20. This his second. KARDJENA in first place at the moment with an African record. As we wait for the measurement on that one.
And she crosses the line officially in 29.68.
7:25, so an improvement of 2 meters and 5 centimeters on his opening effort. Time now for his third attempt. Plenty of competition in this one as we go further down the list. Silver medalist from the European Championships, Aleksandr KHRUPIN of Russia, also competes. The bronze medalist from those championships, SCHEIL of Germany. And the European champion, Evgenii MALYKH of Russia.
The athletes in this class only attempting 3 of their throws in one go. They'll go back, sit down while the other athletes have their attempts, and then come back to the throwing apparatus for their final 3 attempts.
So that's the first 3 attempts of Abdulaziz ALSHEKAILI.
Is this a passing of the guard then? Well, the man who's dominated the men's shot put in the F33 and extra categories, sometimes it's a multi-category event. Kamel KARDJENA of Algeria. He's actually led an Algerian 1-2-3 at the last 3 major global championships, which won't happen here as he's no colleagues alongside. 2 fouls though. And that is a big difficulty because he has to get a mark here. He's the reigning Paralympic World Champion. We've got 10 in the final, and it's only the top 8. He'll be able to throw all the way. It's 3 throws at a time in this. So KARDJENA is in a spot of big bother here. That looks okay. He's got the white flag. It's around 10.5 meters, and he will survive in the combination. But that was touch and go for a little bit. He's won the last 4 major global championships. And that is a mark on the board which will get him up into the top 8. It actually, I think, being over 10 meters might already be good enough to have won him gold, but we'll see about that. 2 world championships, 2 Paralympic titles as well. And that is a new African record for KARDJENA of 10 meters 25. 4th string in 5th for Germany, and that's because they're different categories.
And this is Jessee WYATT
T43 string
taking his throws in the men's shot.
That is just shy of 10 meters. It's 3 throws in rotation. African record for KARDJENA of Algeria in 10.25. And there was a protest in, by the way, about the final, which we'll tell you about in a moment. The victory by Brown. We'll see if it interferes the winner or not, or if it interferes with any of the medalists.
And we thought Richard Brown had his first ever gold medal wrapped up. There's a protest, so we'll have to wait and see.
Of course, we have to work out who the protesters actually get. It may not even be against Richard Brown.
Another continental record for Oceania for Jessee WYATT, 8 meters 69 as he goes second behind Kamel KARDJENA of Algeria in this men's shot put F33 final. Third throw is on the way.
Already an Australian record.
The first round at 8.69. Being a continental record, obviously has to be a national record as well. That's around the same mark.
Richard Brown likes to laugh on a joke at the start line sometimes. He was all business today.
Are allocated to athletes with coordination impairment.
Well, back to the shot put, the men's F33 final. Naser Saleh of Kuwait, his third throw. 6:41 his best so far. That was with his very first. 6:29 with his second. Currently in fourth position, 6:86, so an improvement on his first throw, but he stays in fourth position. Let's go back to the shot put. Men's shot put F33 final. 4 of the athletes have thrown 3 times to date. That man there is Hani ALNAKHLI. To wait on the distance for the first of his throws. Just being measured now. It takes a little bit of time.
And as we said, the athletes in this class take 3 throws at once, so waiting between throws to recover as well as having to wait for the measurement, as we see there.
So the Saudi Arabian 7.96 puts him into third place as his second throw goes out. A lifetime best of 9.21. So if he could throw that, it would put him up into a much higher position. Going to be very difficult to catch the man in first position who we saw earlier.
I was just about to say,
KARDJENA.
the Algerian in first has quite the lead of over a metre so far, with also obviously another number of athletes still to throw. It works a little bit differently in the able-bodied events and those ambulant events here at the IPC Athletics World Championships, in that they'll all take 3 throws at once. So whilst some athletes may be sitting in medal positions at the moment, they can change quite dramatically.
7.40 for his second effort for Hani ALNAKHLI.
Another event that Germany have done quite well in lately in the javelin.
Next in the field, women's long jump T20 final.
Athletes in the T20 sport class have an intellectual impairment, which may lead to difficulties with pattern recognition, sequencing and memory, or having a slower reaction time.
As we see the Russian athlete just getting strapped in to his throwing frame. That's to ensure his buttocks stays on the seat as he throws. He'll use that pole there that you can see on screen with his non-throwing arm in order to generate as much power as possible.
14, another athlete who's been over 5 metres this season. Personal best, in fact, of this year, 5:06 for Wikström of Sweden. First athlete in action is Evgenii MALYKH of Russia.
Yes.
World record, by the way.
The athlete now ready to throw.
Set in Lyon 2 years ago, so obviously also the championship record.
So a first up throw.
And after opens up with 5 metres 15, Evgenii of Portugal. Next close to cracking that 5 metre barrier this year. 4 metres 91 a season. That's 4.97 her lifetime.
So the men's shot put, F33 final. And this is Aleksandr KHRUPIN, who we saw warming up.
Second round a little bit later on.
KARDJENA is the leader with the African record of 10.25 with his final throw. Jessee WYATT of Australia in second place, 8.69 with the Oceania record.
Next on track, men's 200 metre T13, round 1, heat 1 of 3.
Well, that looks a good throw.
Classes 11 to 13 are allocated to athletes with
Is that enough to give him the lead?
T13 athletes have the highest visual acuity. All have a visual
10.87, and KHRUPIN is in front.
They will compete without a guide.
The silver medalist at the Europeans last year in Swansea. 3 throws at a time before the athletes can return. And that's another solid effort, and that's beyond 11 metres.
The power that these athletes produce from a sitting position in such a short space is impressive.
That is going to extend his lead certainly by around 30 or 40 centimetres to almost a metre, surely. KARDJENA and WYATT may have come up with continental records, but they'll find themselves further down in second and third. KHRUPIN now leads by 99 centimetres. That was 11.24.
So Daniel SCHEIL with his second attempt in the men's shot put F33 final. 10.02 to start up with. Which placed him behind KARDJENA of Algeria in 4th place. He's shaking his head. Well, 10.37. That takes him up into second position. Aleksandr KHRUPIN still out in front. Now this will be the third attempt from Daniel SCHEIL. All the athletes getting 3 attempts. Second now, 10.37 is best. Here comes number 3. Well, that looks nice. And that looks a lot bigger than 10.37. That's up near the 11 mark. So SCHEIL's third throw, there it is, 10.90. That is an improvement of 53 centimetres. Well, look at that. That is what we're dealing with here in Doha. Sunshine all around. Time to go back to the shot put. This is the men's shot put F33 final. Evgenii MALYKH of Russia with his first attempt.
Up around 10 metres there.
Well, MALYKH will get 3 throws, of course. European champion. Personal best of 12.03 with a season best of 11.73. And that is not up near it. He's got some work to do. 9.86, it puts him in 4th position. Well, he's given that some, hasn't he? Ooh. That is much, much better. That's up near the 12-metre mark. As we wait to see whether he gets the white flag for it, but that is very, very big indeed. Well, we thought that was big, but he's been given the red flag.
Oh, no.
Well, that is over 12 metres. That is huge. That's even bigger. Evgenii MALYKH. He's currently sitting in 4th position, the Russian, the European champion. He was fouled on his second that was up there around the 12-metre mark, but this is absolutely huge.
I'll tell you what.
If he's given the white flag here, this is monstrous.
I'll tell you what, the rest of the competitors are lucky they're not doing 6 in a row here, because he's gone better every one.
Except for the fact he was fouled on his second. 12.36. He moves into the lead. That is a new personal best for Evgenii MALYKH, the European champion. That is huge. His best before that, a lifetime best before that of 12.03. It is now 12.36. He's improved by 33 centimetres on his personal best before that. His season best was only 11.73.
Evgenii MALYKH has won the men's shot put, lifetime best 12.36 for Russia. And he did it by a margin of almost a metre. Russia 1-2 with Daniel SCHEIL of Germany in 3rd place. And quite a few continental records behind.
China, and that world record is 42.38. We've already had a new championship.